the business enterprise has two and only two basic functions: marketing and innovation. Marketing and innovation produce results. All the rest are costs, according to Peter Drucker. And so, finding the right partner, and in this case, I'm referring to marketing partner, but it could be any. And this is looking for us in particular because this is obviously in e-commerce, a core area of business is marketing, advertising spend. So for us, if you look at this, I graphed here from May of 18 when we started losing money, all the way until we started making money in November. And you can see the difference here. It's not, I don't think it's glaring, but you'll notice that gross sales starting in November are significantly higher, high enough to cover fixed costs is the main difference there. And ad spend as a percentage of sales drops and stays pretty steady after that. If I were to graph this out further, it drops even more and stays very steady. But what we found with the partner, the agency we were working with at the time, was actually two contractors, was just a lot of volatility and no ability to scale past a certain kind of benchmark. And it was scary. Like, we interviewed multiple agency partners and checked references, and we just weren't sure, like, particularly you're going into Q4 holiday period, if we were going to make the switch or if we should make the switch. And it was one of the best decisions we made, if not the best. I would say, two key things in 2018 that really turned things around for us. One was attending the 4-day MBA and getting metrics and KPIs in place. And number two was switching our advertising agency to a different agency. And I really think the difference between a good agency and a great agency is that ability to scale. Certainly to control costs as well. But for us, it was, if you fast forward, all the way now to 2020, the scale is totally different. It wouldn't even be on this chart. And we interviewed like 3 or 4. And I think what really made the difference was checking references, just talking to people that had worked with them, currently work with them, and knowing if they were similar to us or different and how they had scaled. I would say the number one or number two key turning point in us from going from losing money from May through October to making money starting in November, really starting on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And our new agency partner totally changed our thinking as well on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and how to approach it.
That's really interesting. How did they change your thinking?
At the time, and I feel like it's less common now, but at the time, the whole entire approach to Black Friday, Cyber Monday was costs go up significantly because inventory shrinks on Facebook. Therefore, you should spend as much as you can in the lead up in October or November in acquiring emails or generating interest, and then scale back on your acquisition or prospecting in Q4, particularly Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Skew prospecting back, just do a lot of retargeting. You've already pixeled a very large audience. Now you can retarget them. That's how our prior agency had approached it. And our new agency was like, that's crazy. Like, buyer intent is higher than ever come Q4. And come Black Friday, Cyber Monday, everyone is shopping. It's so while inventory is reduced, ad inventory, your conversion rate's going to go way up. And so they were totally against the idea of building this big list ahead of time and doing all of this where we switched from prospecting to retargeting. They went in with the intent of acquiring new customers over Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it was hugely successful. Our conversion rate was way up. Our return on ad spend didn't increase because our subsequently our conversion rate also improved significantly. Going from in the 3s all the way up to 7%, just because buyer intent is so high over that weekend. Yeah, and then simplified things. Everything got a lot simpler. Prior to that, we had tons of ad groups and tons of campaigns, tons of ad sets. They just squashed it all down and made it much easier.
So I want to talk a little bit about managing agencies and freelancers. So you guys, to this day, are you guys still using the agency, or did you bring it in-house for Facebook advertising?
Still use an agency. Yeah, super happy with our agency. The same agency as Pure Vita and Blenders. So those were two great referrals. When I said call referrals, like,
Yeah.
They'd been with Blenders. I know Chase over at Blenders since, I think Blenders was like 2 million or sub 2 million
Yeah.
in gross sales. So, if an agency's been with somebody from 2 million to 40 million, they're doing something right.
They can scale it up. They know how to continue to bring the sales.
Yeah.
Someone asked, which agency?
Yeah, you want me to I'm happy to share. Austin knows who it is as well. It is Some Digital out of San Francisco. SUM, Some Digital. And I know Andrew knows them as well. I think Andrew does, yeah.
So you made the decision to keep it in-house. A lot of people, as they grow, I've seen kind of a trend to move it from agency to in-house, and a bunch of clients that I work with have been doing that. What are some tips you have for having success working with agencies? Just from the perspective of a business owner, and you obviously work with a lot of agents. I'm sure you worked with multiple agencies over time. What are some things you can share about how you can be more successful as a business owner working with agencies?
Yeah. Well, I think obviously first it's got to be somebody you trust and enjoy working with. Trust is a big part of it, right? For us, we have shared assets. So I think on the logistics side, we have shared folders, shared Asana projects, and there's just a lot of back and forth collaboration between, their team and our team on what we're working on, what we're pushing coming up, what's working, what's not working. It's just really, I would say that, blocking and tackling, just good communication, sharing of assets, open communication, and having those, clear guidelines like, hey, we want this ROAS or in this range, and then just a willingness to, kind of work together.